Hi everyone, so today's video is going to be a little bit different from my normal. I'm just going to speak off the cuff and not going to do much editing because kind of want to keep this as authentic as possible. Basically on June 24, 2020, I opened my American Express account only to find out that all my points has been wiped out of my account. So I had close to 150,000 membership reward points between my business platinum and personal platinum card, and they have been completely wiped out. So at first I thought maybe it was a glitch, but I did read a while back where American Express went through a mass credit card closure with many people who they deem is not good for their business, and all signs point to me getting all my accounts shut down as well. Now on this day, it looks like all my accounts was still open and I can see my balance and whatnot. I can still make payments, but my points was not there anymore. So that really had me in a panic. Now I sat there for a second and thought about it, and I wanted to get to the bottom of this. So I called American Express and I spoke with a customer representative. It was close to, I think, 4:45 p.m. Pacific time zone. So I'm not sure if that had anything to do with the supervisors not being on duty anymore at that time. But basically, after I asked the representative what happened, they couldn't give me an answer. All they told me was that I need to speak with a supervisor because they can give me an answer. But from their end, it looks like my account has been completely canceled. So that means all my cards has been canceled, the points has been wiped out, and not only that, and my account has also been sent to collections. And to make things worse, it looks like besides losing all my points, my credit score also went down by 90 points. So I was really taken aback. I felt really shocked at first, and I felt really defeated. I've been using American Express as my main credit card for several years now. As a matter of fact, I use my Cobalt card as my main go-to card, and I put all my day-to-day spending on that card. I put my reoccurring bill on that card. So it's kind of like my go-to card. It's one of my favorite cards in Canada, actually. And now I have to find another card again to do that because it's been shut down. Now, when I was talking to the representative on the phone, the person told me that there's no way there's a supervisor is going to be able to talk to me on that time because the supervisors are off work, and they told me to call back again the next day. So the next day I phoned in, and again I was still feeling defeated, having that feeling of getting all my points wiped out. I just felt terrible, went through a bunch of range of emotion, ranging from I was just plainly upset. That's just to put it plainly. So the next day I called in the morning to see if I can speak with the customer service representative, well, a supervisor of the customer service representatives. And the whole time the guy was acting a little bit weird because he kept saying, "Are you gonna pay your bills? Are you gonna pay your bills?" Well, I said, I always pay my bills on time. There's no reason why it should be going to collections. Anyways, he told me that there's no supervisor available at that moment, and they needed to call me back. Now, I wasn't sure if they're gonna call me back or they're gonna send me in a circle, just so that they don't have to talk to me. But they asked me to pick a time when the best time to call me back. I told them if they can call me back at 2 p.m. Pacific time zone. This was yesterday, and basically I waited, and no one called me back. So I thought, okay, great, maybe they just kind of told me that to just get me off the phone, and they're not gonna call me back at all. So I was feeling a little bit again upset at the way the American Express is dealing with their customer service. Now today I managed to get a call from the supervisor with American Express. But before that, they actually sent me this UPS also, which I opened. I'm going to open right now. I haven't opened it yet. 'Cause, I spoke to the customer service representative supervisor earlier today, and I do have our conversation recorded, which I'll be showing you in this video. But I'm just gonna open this right now, and this is not your typical box opening. It's not gonna be your what kind of gear that you have. Instead, I think it's gonna be a letter to state why all my accounts have been shut down. So I'm just gonna open this and take a look and see. So I got a letter here from American Express. Okay, so they basically told me that they're sending me a generic letter with no specification why they canceled my account. But so it's a notice of cancellation, and they mentioned the 3 cards that they have canceled. And the reason why, I'm just going to read this from here. After a recent review of your activity, one or more of your accounts or other accounts to which your accounts are linked have been identified as not being used for the intended purposes. Your accounts was formally closed as of June 24, 2020, at which any points or cashback remaining in your accounts was forfeited. Your account cannot be reinstated, and we reserve the right to cancel or decline any future accounts. Important steps to take for your canceled accounts. Ensure that any supplementary card members are advised of the cancellations. Cut your cards in half, or in the case of the metal cards, you may return them to us for destruction. Cancel any standing orders, subscriptions, and automatic billing directly with the merchant. As per the card member agreement, you're obligated to pay all amounts owing on your accounts. The account may also be subject to forfeiture of any prorated annual fees and any rewards or benefits provided to you. If you have any questions or concerns regarding this letter, please call 1-800-869-3016. Sincerely, Customer Service, American Express, Bank of Canada. So, this is just a generic letter that they sent me. Now, I called in the American Express call center a few days ago because I really wanted to speak with the supervisor, and thankfully they did call me back today, and we had a lengthy talk, and just some key points that some takeaways there was that number one, any cards that has been canceled by American Express cannot be reopened again for any reason whatsoever. Those are completely closed off forever, and they cannot be reopened. They also would not specify to me the reason why they canceled my account, because I was trying to ask them for a specific reason why my card has been canceled, and the lady, and she was a very friendly lady, very polite, and she did her best to answer my questions. She just pretty much said that those accounts cannot be opened again in the future, and that all my points in that account is gone forever. They've been wiped out and they're not coming back. They didn't say whether I was banned from American Express or not, but they said that I can try my luck and apply again in the future, but there's no guarantee whether I'm going to be approved for an American Express card ever again. So she said it's a lottery kind of deal where I just have to apply and see what happens. But again, they didn't provide me with any reasons why my card has been canceled, other than maybe there's one instance, 2 instances, or several instances where the card was being used for not for what it was not intended for, and therefore as a result they closed down my account. Now, based on my conversation from this supervisor, it seems like, I'm not sure if they're looking at your account manually. Maybe it's like an automatic closure, because she really had no idea why that account was shut down, because she was not able to provide me with any answer, and I didn't feel like she was lying to me or being dishonest with me. But I tried to communicate with her that that American Express is in fact one of my favorite, if not my favorite, company to bank with in Canada, especially use their credit cards. So I was a little bit distraught that that my card has been canceled. So, with that being said, I spoke to the supervisor. I didn't lash out or anything, and I do want to keep that good relationship with American Express, even though right now it's not in good terms. But eventually, I'd like to get an American Express card again. So what you're gonna see right now is pretty much the recording of my conversation with the American Express supervisor, and like I said, I tried to keep it as friendly as possible. Again, I know it's another human being working, talking to me on the phone, so there's no reason to lash out, even though I lost a lot of 150,000 points. So the video is mostly unedited. I just edited out times where they put me on hold because you don't want to hear 10 minutes of the American Express waiting music. But yeah, go ahead and listen to it and see if you can get some information from it that might be useful to you. But yeah, that's pretty much the case when it comes to me getting shut down by American Express and getting this letter from them. Oh, and one more thing before we move on to that recording, just to give you a heads up, I do live by the big street here in Richmond, BC, in Canada, and sometimes the audio is not very good because there was trucks driving by, and that really made things quite loud. So like I said, I live by the big street, so it's definitely going to affect the sound quality. But I also didn't have time to prepare my audio equipment because they called me while I was cooking my lunch in the kitchen. So what you're gonna hear is pretty much very much raw. Anyways, go ahead and listen to that audio and take any information that you think is useful from that one. Is there any way that we could potentially reopen my account again if there's I don't know what the procedure is for this?
So I don't know if you received the letter we sent, but unfortunately I cannot reinstate your account at this time.
Would I be able to reinstate the account again in the future?
Well, I mean, if you need reapplying, you may apply for a new card. However, what the letter basically specifies that we do reserve the right to cancel or decline any future cards. So I cannot say yes or no. I really don't know. But as to reinstate this account, meaning that I just reopen it without you making any application, that I cannot do.
Okay, so we won't be able to reopen the account again then?
At this time, no, I am not able to reopen your account, unfortunately.
Okay, I'm still a little bit disturbed because I put all my bills into my American Express Cobalt card, and for example, I have a refund that's coming up from Air Canada that's going to go to that card, so that really puts a damper into that.
For sure, if there's any refund, it will be able to still go through, and at this time, if that refund causes a negative balance, we owe you money, then you can certainly give us a call, and we can talk about how we can get that back to you.
And what was the thing that I was supposedly doing that was not intended for the card? Just because like I said, American Express is my favorite credit card of all time. I use it all the time. So this is a little bit I'm just shocked that it happened out of the blue.
And it doesn't give me a details of what exactly you were doing. All it tells me is that you did not use it for its intended purpose. So I wish I had more information, but it doesn't tell me that you were not going to just go, let's say, you did not go to the street. Like, it won't tell me that specifically. It just tells me that you did not use it for its intended purpose.
Oh, I see. So there's no specification why
There's no specification. It just says at some point it doesn't really say at some point. It just says we identified that you did not use it for its intended purpose. So I don't know if it happened once, if it happened twice, if it happened 10 times, 20 times. What exactly that you did was not intended, I really don't have that detail. I apologize.
Okay, because the only thing I can think of is that recently American Express was offering a lot of promotions with statement credits, and I went and used them all up right away. So that's what I feel like possibly what happened. But I guess if there's no specification, then
there's not much we can do. But what about my Cobalt card? Because that was my go-to card for my day-to-day purchase. You said that you can't open it right now, but do you think if I call again in like 6 to 12 months, I could petition for it to be reopened? Is that something that is a possibility?
Well, once the account is closed the way it's closed, especially yours, we cannot reopen it. But if you reapply, like I say, I cannot guarantee if it's going to be approved or not. It may be approved, but it may be declined as well. So, because for me, reopening is that you do not apply for a new card. All we do is basically the same account that you have, same card number, we just reopen it. That is not possible. Even if you call it 5, 6, 7 months, 7 days, it does not matter. It cannot be reopened as it is, and for you to keep the same card number. Applying for a whole new, processing a whole new application, that's why I said that, I don't know. Because again, it could be approved, but it could be declined. It depends. Or if it's approved, it's open, maybe it might be canceled. I really don't know because I can't predict the future, right?
Right.
But I do know as for reopening the account, meaning keeping the same card number, everything as is right now, that is not possible, whether it's now or in the future. That is absolutely not possible.
Okay, so basically, from what I'm hearing, that I could potentially reapply again in the future for a new card. I'm a little bit worried now because am I in trouble with American Express? Am I blacklisted, or can I still bank with American Express in the future?
Well, it doesn't tell me that it's blacklisted. All it tells me is that we cannot reinstate the account. But that's all.
Okay.
It doesn't really talk to me about like you cannot, or all it tells me, like I say, is that we cannot reinstate the account at this time.
And then I had a lot of points in my accounts too. Are they gone for good? Because I was taking a long time to save up those points too, and now I'm really disturbed that I've been saving up all these points, and then suddenly they've been taken away. I was going to use it to transfer it to my British Airways account and book a flight in the future with it, but now it's completely gone. So is there any way I could potentially get those points back or transfer those points out?
Unfortunately not, because once the account is canceled the way it has been, the points are gone basically. So the account is frozen, the points are gone, the points are forfeited. Because it's not like you're the one who asked for that account. Like I said, it's just there was an abuse somewhere of the program, and
right.
So at that time the points are taken away as well.
Okay.
Not that.
Do you know if I could speak to anyone in American Express like that could potentially see if I could open an account again in the future, or it's just really unsure at this moment?
It's really unsure because, like I say, it's something, let's say if you apply today, you may, it may be approved, but it may be declined too. It's not something that someone can predict. Otherwise, I will have said, hey, you know what, let me consult with my team, or let me transfer you to that department. Like I say, it's almost like playing the lottery. Nobody knows if you're going to win or not, right? So it's the same thing. If you apply, it's hard for me to say yes, it will be approved, or no, it won't be approved. I really don't know, because again, it's not something that is determined right now. It will be determined at the time of your application, when they review your application, and then the answer will be given at that time. So that's why I can't say, and no one can say, really. It's almost like playing the lottery. Nobody can tell you if you're going to win or not, right?
Right.
That's why it's difficult for anyone to tell you, yes, you will be approved, or no, you will not. It really depends at that time when you apply. If you do apply, of course.
Okay. I had another question, but it just flew out of my head. Yeah, sorry, I just forgot my question. I had an important question I was going to ask, but...
Take a minute, think about it.
Oh, right. So I remember my question now. So one of the things that I had problems with was that American Express sent my account to collections, which really hurt my credit score right away. Is there a way to reverse that from being sent from collections? Because I've paid all my balance, no problem. I've always been good at paying off my balance. So that was quite that wasn't a very good customer service thing to throw it to collections right away and damage the customer's credit score, because I had a pretty good credit score prior to this happening, and suddenly it dipped by over 90 points. So is there a way to reverse the collections thing? Because I've already paid off all my balances.
For that, you may want to contact our credit department. I can give you the phone number.
Sure, let me go. Give me a second. I'll go grab a pen. Okay, and what is the phone number for the credit department?
It will be 1-866.
1-866.
1800.
1800. 668. 6500. And then what should I tell them when I call them?
So exactly what you told me, that your account was sent to collection, and you want to see if that decision can be reversed because it didn't affect your credit score. Exactly what you told me.
Okay, got it. Is it possible to get transferred to them, or do I have to call them manually?
I can transfer you. Any other questions for you? For me, sorry.
Well, I think you answered most of the questions. I mean, for me, it was mainly because, like I said, I like banking with American Express, and I just, was really shocked when this happened. But you already answered the questions. I guess we don't know if I can apply for it again until I do apply again. So, like you said, it's a lottery. Is there any way I could get more answers about this? Because it would be nice to get a definitive answer instead of.
Like I say, I wish I can tell you, but just like if I ask you, hey, sir, what's going to happen to me in 3 weeks, you're not able to answer, right? So that's why I say if there was someone who can answer that to you absolutely with certainty, it would be my pleasure to transfer, right? I have no reason to withhold that information from you or prevent you from finding if I know you can find out for sure. But it's not something that I can tell you, or no one. It's not just me. You can always ask the person at the credit department that you talk to as well. It's up to you. But like I say, it's not because if the decision will be taken at the time when we process your application, and I don't know what the condition at that time will be, right? I don't know what's going to be looked at and what's going to determine yes or no. I don't know that. And it's impossible for anyone to know that. Yeah, so that's why it's hard for me to say yes or no right now, or anyone that you could ask here. But feel free to talk to as many people here if you want to call back, ask other people. It's really up to you. But what I am telling you, because it's impossible. Again, it's like a lottery. Nobody can know, hey, this person is going to win in 2 weeks. They're going to win this. Oh, this person is well going to win that much in 5 weeks. Oh, that person's never going to win in their lifetime. We don't know that, right? It's at the time when you play, and then the number comes out, then we know. But not that your account will be a lottery, but it's more like depending at that time when you apply, what your credit information is, what circumstances. There's many factors that come into play that I cannot foresee right now, or that no one can really see and say, oh yes, we're gonna apply in 5 weeks, this is what's gonna happen. We don't know, right? Those are things that just like when the COVID happened, nobody knew what was gonna happen, right? We just have to deal with it as it happened. So it's the same thing. When you're going to apply at that time, we are going to deal with your application. But right now, I cannot tell you yes or no. And I wish I could. It would be my pleasure to tell you. But I don't want to tell you yes, and you apply and it's no. Or I don't want to tell you no, and then you still apply and the answer is yes, right? Then you're going to think, oh, she lied, right?
Right.
But I don't know, because I just don't know. And I don't want to just give you an answer just because he's going to please, right? I don't know.
If
So that's why I'm saying that.
if I call to apply and then I get denied, would they be able to tell me the reason why if I call back?
Usually when the application is declined, it doesn't necessarily give us an answer. Usually it tells you, I know that when you apply and your application is declined, you receive a letter through the mail saying that we're unable to process your application at this time. Please try again. You know, it's kind of like a generic letter. It won't tell you a specific reason. Oh, we declined your application because of this specific thing. So, by experience, it won't tell you the specific reason. It will just tell you.
Sorry, I can't hear you. Hello?
It will not tell you a specific reason. It will just say generic. Like it will be like a general kind of, we were unable to approve your application at this time. Please try again in 6 months or something like that.
Got it.
But it won't give you a specific reason. It might list like possible reasons, but it won't be specific to say, well, it's because of this specific reason. It might say something along the line of, we weren't able to approve because, due to information, your credit bureau, something like that. But it won't tell you specifically, well, this specific information related is the reason why we are declining. It won't say that. If you're looking for a specific, reason or something that you will know for sure, that it won't happen for sure. It will, if I know that for sure because I know people who have applied for American Express and the reason is never specific. There were people that I knew myself and the reason was not specific. It was very generic. So I wish I could tell you, it will tell you that, but it won't. If it's declined, it will just tell you because of information from the credit bureau or something like that. Like it won't be that specific, and it might not even say that. It might just say we weren't able to approve your information at this time. Try again in 6 months or something like that. It will be because it's the same letter basically that is to kind of generate this. So there's no specific. Plus, we don't necessarily want to put specific because if the letter gets lost, if someone gets, their hand on that, then you know what I mean. So that's why information might not be very, very specific.
One last question before I guess I request for transfer to the credit department. Has anyone that has been in my position before where my oops, sorry, I have a hello?
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah, sorry, I got a phone call. But anyways, has anyone that had their cards closed, like mine also, have been successful at reopening again in the future?
If there were, unfortunately, I haven't dealt with such accounts because it's not like I deal with every single account here, right? We have thousands and thousands of accounts, so I cannot say. I really don't know, to be honest with you, because it's unless it will be someone who has specific. And plus, I mean, like let's say like your account is closed, and let's say I speak to you in a year from now, I won't necessarily remember. Oh yeah, it's that person, his account. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like I won't know, right? At that time, you will just be another customer I am speaking with, right? So that's why it's very hard for me to tell you yes. I know, unless I will know these people personally, unfortunately it will be hard for me because like I say, even if I speak to you in 3 months from now, especially I have a terrible memory, I may not remember, oh, you're the person who I spoke to and his account was canceled, and you know what I mean, because that is not information that I will keep like in my personal notes, you know what I mean. So every customer for me is kind of like a new customer. Sometimes customers are like, oh, I think I spoke to you last week, and I'll be like, I'm not sure. So how can I help you, right?
Right.
I speak to so many people every day, so I would not know. I cannot, like I said, unless it will be someone in my family or someone that I knew personally, I cannot tell you it happened or not. I really don't know. I apologize.
No worries. Like you said, well, thanks for answering that question. But so, would I be able to request for another review on my account, maybe like 6 to 12 months from now? Is that something that we can do just to see if whatever? Because my accounts, we have notes in our accounts, right? So maybe put a note that maybe if I'm okay to apply again or not okay. I don't know if that's something that's possible to request for another review.
Well, your account, the one that were canceled,
Yeah.
won't be reviewed. They're canceled, or that's it, right? I can't, like in 6 months from now, you cannot be like, hey, I had an account 6 months, can you review it again? No, it's gone. It's done. We have already reviewed it. We have took the decision to close the account. That's it. It's done.
Oh, I meant sorry. That wasn't my question. My question was like, if I apply for another card, like if I wanted to apply for a card, right? But I know that possibly I'm gonna get denied because my previous accounts were closed. So would I be able to, let's say I apply and I get denied, would I be able to get my account reviewed again or speak to another supervisor for them to reconsider opening the account that I applied for? Should it get denied, for example?
In my experience, no. Once it's declined, you could always call us, but you might have to speak with the credit department. I'm not sure which will be the proper department, but let's say you apply again in 6 months and you're declined. If you speak to someone like me in customer service, supervising customer service, there's nothing that I will be able to do. Absolutely nothing.
I see.
The decision has been made. It's not me personally. The supervisors here at customer service are not the one who take the decision to apply or decline an application. So whether you speak to me or not and say, hey, I want another review, there's nothing I will be able to do. That's why I say I'm not sure which department. As far as I know, in my experience, there is no review. Once we decline, it just says to retry again in 6 months or so.
Yes.
As far as I know, we don't really have a department that will review and try to see, and try to, see if we can open the account or not, as in my experience. But speaking to a customer service supervisor like me, we won't be able to review us. All we're going to be able to tell you is that, well, you can try again in 6 months, basically.
Got it.
We're not responsible for reviewing and even taking the decision if the account will be open or not, right?
Right. Okay. Well, thank you so much for answering my questions. Guess I'll try again in the future and try my luck and see if I could bank with American Express again.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Would I be able to get transferred to the credit department, please?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, just give me 1 second here. Thank you for holding, Mr. Oy.
Yes.
Hi, I do have my colleague Josette on the line, and she will continue this call with you, okay?
Okay. Thank you again.
So you're very welcome. Both of you. A wonderful rest of the day, and please stay safe, okay?
You too.
Thank you so much.
Anyways, yeah, that's the audio conversation I had with the supervisor with American Express. I'd like to bank again with them in the future, so I'm gonna cross my fingers and hope that I can get approved for a card, 6 months or 12 months down the road. But otherwise, it's been a good run if I can't get approved again. But I think I could get approved again. I did read some articles online where people have been able to be approved again, whether that be given some time, waiting 10 to 30 years. I've seen people say that they've been approved 10 to 30 years from now since they got closed down by American Express. And some people just said that there are ways around it that you can do, which I'm going to try out in a few months and see what happens. Anyways, this kind of stuff happens when you collect points and miles, and we'll see what happens moving on to the future. All right, well, I'll see you next time.